just take us to our reality, the things we see every day. So please, next slide, sir. Okay, so as a matter of introduction, we understand the state that makes up the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. And of course, we know how important the Niger Delta is to the economy of Nigeria. I have this paper already sent to the organizer, so if you want to have a copy for yourself. So I'm just going to do an excerpt of what I've given already. And as a region in the country, they call us the region that lays the golden egg. But then, having laid the golden egg, we suffer more from the impact of our egg laying inside. And then if you go through this, the map that you have there, you find out that we have states that makes up the Niger Delta region. And if you look at the legend, you'll see that where there are spots, where we talk about what we call oil spill, and Akwa is an exception. And I just have to bring this up because I know there will be repeated talks about this particular map. Please, next slide. I know we talk about causes of climate change because I wouldn't want to define because okay, I've just been seeing out of my time has been 30 minutes, so I have the time for us to discuss. I want to share real life experience, real life examples, so that when we leave this place, we have exactly what to tell the next generation. So we talk about generation of power. Who knows this place? The things here. I mean, one of the frames, that's generating power. When was the last time you had light in your location? If you are from Uganda, when was the last time you had electricity? That means we generate our own power. And in the course of generating power, what do? We emit carbon dioxide. And what are the principal chemicals or substances that trigger climate change? Carbon dioxide happens to be one of them. And then now we're talking about methane gas. And methane is actually very deadly right now, but it's not captured yet. So we talk about generation of power, transportation. This is Uyo. You've seen the color of the vehicles. So imagine all of us. When I got in here, I was actually scared if the meeting actually held because I didn't see plenty of cars. But I come to realize that we have people that are climate smart in these meetings. And that's why some of you drop your vehicles and use public transportation. So imagine all of us in this place driving in our own cars to this meeting. The amount of carbon dioxide will be emitting. So that means in the course of coming to this conference, we will be contributing to climate change. But I see that people are already smart. And a round of applause for yourself. Thank you very much. That's not the point. I'm trying to embellish it now, please. Thank you. Okay, so we have, I talked about the Niger Delta region being the region that lays gold for the country. And that's a typical site of an oil drilling activity. Just within the area, do you think crops can grow in this place? And we know the importance of plants, right? Biology teachers. We give out carbon dioxide, right? And then as we take in oxygen. And who gave us oxygen? Plants. And if you have these locations, there are no pictures of it that will be coming. If you have more of these locations, like if you're from the region of Ekiti, some part of River State, and some other locations across the Niger Delta, how do you think the people there will survive? So you see, oil exploration, but we do not call it oil exploration in this space. We call it oil exploitation. Your government will call it oil exploration, but we call it oil exploitation. Because it has gone beyond the level of exploration. The environment is being abused, the people is being abused, their rights denied, and every other aspect of, talk about negativity. And then, when you talk about exploration, the nature, culture is being exploited. Because in this activity, you find that people may get to lose their cultural heritage. Alright? And when these people finish getting what they want, they will just leave the location abandoned. And people say, there is so much money in the oil sector, but I would like to show it. I told you I was not going to do any statistics, but I would like to tell you that the oil companies in Nigeria do not employ up to 5% of Nigerians as permanent staff. So it could be that your brother, that your sister you said works in the oil company, just a contract staff that can be laid off at any time. How many of us remember COVID? If you had persons that worked in the oil sector, no, I'm not talking about the palm oil sector. If you had people that worked in the oil sector, one of the key prayer points you must have had, I had such a prayer point, was for the people that were working in that sector. And most of those that you were praying for were contract staff, because most of them were retrenched without notice. So you find out that even when the oil is being taken from our backyards, we the people are not benefiting from it. Alright? Now, please get back to my slide. And then we talk about deforestation. I have a video I would have loved to play, but I didn't give them. Deforestation. When you keep cutting down trees, I am happy I met Miss Ephraim last part of presentation talking about tree planting and all of that. They say there's a policy they brought about, I think talking about the red plus. You know, when you reserve your forest and all of that, I will pay why I keep polluting my region and all of that. But that's not the story. Now with deforestation, people keep cutting trees. And it takes, I think, a minimum of 30 years for a particular tree to grow to a point that you can harvest. And then you tell me if I cut a tree and plant a new one, that I'm actually taking activity to restore the environment. So when would that tree grow to become like the one I just finished cutting? It will take a long time. And what is the possibility of this tree not dying, the younger one not dying, before it gets to maturity to start sequestering carbon? So you see, we must do our very best not to deforest. And then another thing we do, I know because I know a lot of us in this house, we do that a lot, is bush burning. It was very annoying. One of the big, I had a video I was supposed to publish on my online page earlier this year. A university in this town, I don't know who their staffers are, instead of clearing the bush, they decided to be setting it on fire. Up to a point that I think it got to destroy some of their key facilities, their infrastructures. How would the university, with the Department of Forestry, Faculty of Environmental Management, and all of that, allowing their staffers to set their bushes ablaze? And the fact is that it is not for cultivation, even when it is wrong. It's so that they would save their labor and just set a place on fire, and the whole thing is done. So bush burning. I understand in my elementary agriculture that the best soil to cultivate is the one that is not burnt, right? My agri teachers. Right. Beautiful. So why then, after teaching in school, when you go back home to cultivate in your farm, you don't choose to set the farm at the life of the microorganisms in that place are at risk. Some may go into extinction. And we know that all of these play a vital role in the ecosystem conservation. And they have the ecosystem services they render. Please let me get back to this slide. Thank you very much. So with Ms. Ephraim talked about consumption. I was looking, there was a picture I was looking for where I went to a party. I don't know if those humans did not eat before going for the party. So you find that it would take rice, take soup and gari or fufu, take this, and the plate will end up being very massive. And you're wondering, where is this person packing these things to? And you know the funny thing? Some of them do not eat the whole of those things they pack. And they end up becoming waste. Remember I mentioned methane. When these bio resources degrade, the process of degradation they emit methane gas. So you see, if you do not take what you can consume, take time, you also are guilty of contributing to what we face and the climate change. Thank you. Please let me have the next slide. Next slide, please. So we talked about the environmental challenges of the environmental solution. And then one of the challenges would be loss of biodiversity. We've seen this egg, that's gorilla. And then the very possible reason, in my imagination, is that perhaps the habitat of these guys must have been demolished. And then they has a younger one, he or she was supposed to take care of. Without where to go to. And of course, you know they behave like humans in some form. So you find out that the problem we create do not just affect us humans, they affect the wildlife too. So we tend to lose biodiversity. If I ask you that there is something, if there are species that you used to notice as a child that you cannot find them currently, I know all of you in this all will tell me one species or the other, especially in your immediate environment. It is a result of your action, my action. So we must, see how to do our best. And one of those ways is to afforest, not to deforest. When we cut down, keep cutting down trees. Imagine, I think Itu is known for monkeys. There's a place in Itu that is known for monkeys. So imagine the people of that neighborhood going to cut down the forest. Where do you think the monkeys will go to? They will just look for somewhere, and it will not be known for monkeys again. It's only about what is called, we used to have monkey, and I used to get no be property. Alright, so we should do our very best to avoid that. Then pollution of